All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Divided Nations. And this guy is Jordan, Akeem, Zon, and Jerome. And in this episode, my topic is time travel. So it's a pretty simple question. Not really simple. It never is with time travel. But there are three categories of time travel. One is to see the future, kind of like knowing in that movie, where you can see 2 minutes into the future, and if someone wants to, let's say, shoot you and kill you, you can go back in time 2 minutes and prevent that. The other one is, in my favorite movie currently, About Time. It's a rom-com. Forget about that, though. Where this guy can travel at any point in his life and change anything he wants, and then go back to the present. So he can always relive his life as he wanted. And in that show, his father, who also had the same power, he read all the books that he could ever find. And so that's how he lived his life. The third one is like Back to the Future, where you had a machine and you can go back to any point of their choice in the future or the past. Which one do you think is the best? Pros and cons of each.
Well, I think the obvious cons for like the Back to the Future style is you rely on a machine.
Yes.
As soon as that thing's gone, you're stuck in the Wild West,
Yes.
and that kind of
That's happened, yes.
not fun.
No.
Ups and downs to the second one, the About Time one is. I don't know what the ups and downs. I guess you're kind of limited because like according like in the movie, you're limited to like once you have like a kid or something major happens.
Yeah.
Like a life changing thing, then
You're stuck
whenever
from
you
that point
change
on.
it, like
Really?
Yes.
well, because
It's-
and not to really spoil the movie or anything, but
Spoiler alert! About Time. If you're gonna
Yeah,
watch it,
yeah.
it's a rom-com. My
It's
favorite
not a
movie.
movie
You
if
should
you
watch
watch
it.
About Time.
But
spoiler
alert.
at one point he has a baby, and he goes back in time and changes something for someone in the movie, and then he comes back to the future, and it's not a girl anymore; it's a boy, and he has no attachment to this boy because he's this brand new.
Really?
So it completely changes the time ways, and it's literally comes down to like that exact sperm or that exact second. It's like you can't change.
He can't even change the fact that he had a kid in general.
No, he could.
you could. But the thing is,
But
he had a daughter who he raised for a year,
Yeah.
and then once he went back to change the past, things worked differently, and now his daughter is a son.
Could he have gone back to the point where he changed something and then put it back?
Yeah,
yes,
and
that,
he
and that's
did
what
do
he
that.
did.
Okay.
So
But he's only. I think the downside to his powers is it's just limited to him, right? Like
It is limited.
yeah,
to
it's
him
limited to
Okay.
him.
within his lifetime.
Because the Back to the Future,
It's
you can go
anytime
anywhere,
whatsoever, yes.
anytime. I would take the Back to the Future one myself.
But you're reliant on a machine,
That's
and it's failed them every single time in every movie.
Yeah.
the invention, man. That's why those movies are so much better than About Time.
So you're looking at the good aspect of Back to the Future. You're forgetting about the butterfly effect.
Okay, so
The butterfly effect is you change one thing which you think will make things much, much better, but you're not seeing about all the other things that happens. So you go back in time and you're like, wow, if I had really asked that girl out, maybe I could have ended up with her. You go back, you ask her out, yeah, she says yes, but now she didn't go out with that other guy who ended up being, president somewhere else, and he becomes an axe murderer, and he could end up killing your mom.
just go back in time.
Change it again, but now you change something else.
Well, no, who's to say you change anything else? You could just
Just-
kind
Go
Kinda
back
just-
and
just
do it.
go back and
rewrite.
like leave yourself a note, because obviously I think through any time travel you probably wouldn't
Yeah.
run into yourself.
I think for me though, with time travel, I don't want to go and change anything. I just want to go and observe. The other
I agree with that.
guy, the About Time, that one is specifically he's just going and changing all kinds of crap.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, About Time?
Not About Time.
Butterfly effect.
No,
what
about
was-
time he changed a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
he's just
Yeah.
changing stuff in his life, right?
Yeah.
Or reliving his life, yeah.
Or reliving
Yeah,
his
or-
life. I would just be an observer. I don't want to change anything because I don't want to. Man,
So you don't want to change it, but let's say you have a horrible day. Someone rammed into your parked car. Your basement got flooded because you didn't take care of that leak 2 weeks ago.
I think
You
what
would
I
not
would
go
do
back?
is I'd set ground rules for myself because I know that there is cause and effect.
Yeah.
Now we've seen all these movies.
But what could cause and effect be when you just
I
want to
don't
fix
know.
a leak?
You never butterfly effect is like you change one little thing and you're missing an arm and a leg. So I don't.
To that, He didn't fix the leak. Instead, he went out for dinner with Laura. Now he doesn't go out for dinner with Laura, and he does fix the leak.
Please be.
Laura's at home somewhere, and this time she goes up the stairs, trips, boom, breaks her neck. Sorry, I shouldn't stop the table. But that's what I mean. Like small things like that, anything can happen. Not to say something bad is gonna happen every time, but you could get stuck in the how do I get this right? How do I get this right? How do I get this right?
Well, I think that the perk to the About Time route is that you go back to yourself. You don't go back. You're not a copy of yourself going back and changing stuff. So at least you wouldn't have like the time paradox where you see yourself, like the Back to the Future.
So I gotta say we banned Back to the Future.
Because the Back to the Future would be so cool. If you go back to like the dinosaurs, or you go back to like biblical times and see what really happened.
That's true, but
Yeah,
I would not go back with a physical form. Like you can't go back to like Jurassic area and you want to see. I want to see the dinosaurs. Nope, your pheromones are gonna kill 2 bugs, and then lizardmen are running the world, right? Like I want to see how the universe was created.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome to see. But 1, I'll die, and 2, like I'll probably fuck up like 27 trillion.
Well, that's the thing, because then you can always just go like back, like 20 seconds before you go back in time, and just leave a note for yourself saying, "Don't go. You're gonna ruin everything."
But technically, okay, so he goes back too far. He screws up something in the past. Now, what happens if he doesn't get that time machine? Or
That's true. That's true. It all depends on if he can get back.
so I think he's right. Like
Even
you
then,
go back, you observe. You're not physically there, but you can observe what happened. So you can see everything. You can see what happened. You can see the dinosaurs. You can see a war happening. But you can't physically interact with that time period. I think that's better. The Back to the Future thing just causes.
That sounds more like a superpower.
Yeah, that sounds like a superpower.
Because you're just seeing the past. Or
By the way, we talked about superpowers. Watch that episode.
Yes.
We're wearing all the same
But
clothes.
if you had to choose one, you had to choose one of the 3. Travel any time in time, or anywhere in time. Travel in any time in your own life, or see the future.
See the future.
Remember, it's only 2 minutes.
Only 2
It's
minutes.
only
in the
2
future.
minutes too.
Depends on, if you could see further, it'd be wicked.
Yeah. What if I could do the Back to the Future thing, but I can see everything in the future and as far as I want to go?
Sorry, say it again.
I can not the Back to the Future thing. What if I can do the observation thing,
Yeah.
but as far as I want to go
In the future.
in the future?
But that kind of gets scrambly.
At what point are you like? Wouldn't you be tired of? Basically, you could be living an infinite amount of lives starting from this point on.
Oh, it has to be your own life. Though.
Yeah.
Well, you could see the future, but like you could, in the future, you watch TV or read an article online. Like, you know what's gonna happen all over the world. But
I think the one that, because you guys are like tearing apart my Back to the Future stuff, I think the one that would be the best out of the 2 would be knowing, because at least you can. It's a short amount of time, but like you can see the best route.
But then what would be? It'd be just as good having the About Time one, because
I've changed my answer.
Oh, you've changed your answer.
My now power I want is to go anywhere in time in my own life. I think that's the most powerful.
Why in your own life? Why not anywhere?
Because I don't want to, let's say, take myself out of existence, and I don't want to mess up the future so badly that like I prevent the
sliced
discovery.
bread.
Yeah, sliced bread, electricity, the internet.
But what if you make a change in your life,
Yeah,
which causes you not to go the time machine route?
I don't have a time machine. I have a power.
Oh,
to
you just have the
travel in my
power.
life.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you always have this power.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in
I was
his
born with
genes.
it. Good genes.
All right.
So that means I could live an infinite amount of lives, provided there is no tragic accident that befalls upon me.
I guess that one's kind of weird. Like, couldn't he essentially meet himself going back to the same point?
No, because
in time?
all you do is take the consciousness of yourself from that earlier time.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're occupying yourself.
Oh, so he's going back into like
In
Past.
his yes,
Yeah.
I see.
changing the
I
past,
thought
but he's
Physically going
no,
back
no,
in
no, no,
time.
no, no.
Okay, so in that scenario, do you remember?
You remember everything. You never.
So
forget
even when you're
anything.
making changes, you still remember what it was before you made the
Yes.
changes.
So if you
But
had a
also,
kid-
although in every movie, you remember your timeline, but you don't remember the new timeline.
Yeah, you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Well,
Huh.
and then the butterfly effect, he did. Like, it all caught up to him really quick.
But he still didn't know everything.
He didn't
Like,
know everything, but a lot of it kicked in, like
Yeah.
the general stuff.
Yes.
So you know some things, but you also have to know, yeah, that a lot of things can be changed. You could be with someone else, you could be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Anyways, I agree. I think that would be the best one. 2 minutes in the future doesn't seem like enough to really do. I don't know.
The thing is, I'm afraid, what, like an hour into the future, that'll get a little tedious, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't
Because you have
know.
to keep rewinding like an hour and doing this. Like, at least my life, I could just, go to school, study one whole thing, or just do a job somewhere, and then I'd have that abundance of knowledge, and then
Take instance, you want to travel.
yeah.
You have 20 hours in, I don't know, Europe. You can go to pretty much any country you want and visit everything in that 120 hours.
Yep.
That's pretty true. It's good.
Hold on, I'm going to change. Keep on talking. I'm going to change the camera. We're not seeing Jordan.
Am I heading too far back?
There you go. You got too much of your own.
Because Jerome's got his side has like the knee thing where he can put his knees under the table,
Yeah.
and my knees are against the table.
Leg
Yeah.
room to spare.
If I could go back in time a week, I'd take your spot. See,
It's true.
see, that's why 2 minutes doesn't change it. If you go through your
but you-
timeline,
but technically, you had a week to make this decision, and you came back with the same decision.
well, that's how
And you
things
came
work.
back today and you sat there again.
Well, Jerome sat there when we sat down.
So,
This is, okay, so
You changed the future. You guys are now switched personalities and seats.
okay, so going back, you're changing your own timeline. So do the changes automatically happen as soon as you make a change?
Once you go back to your timeline,
Oh,
yes.
So once you go back. Okay.
Yes.
And you're immediately aware of the changes, or do you have to see them as they present themselves?
I don't think you know what's going on, what's
I
going to happen
yeah,
in the future.
That's your downfall. You don't know what happens.
So if you squish a bug,
But
Which
you
one
don't have to
affected
go
you
back
now?
to your current timeline. You can just relive
Keep
from that
going.
point on.
yeah.
I'd still go with the knowing route, just because I don't want to. See, I'm going to mess something up. I'm gonna mess something up with the time machine where I fuck up everything and people's heads are coming out of their butts or some stupid shit like that. Or I fuck up my own life so much that I'm just gonna be miserable regardless. So the
Then
best
go
route.
back and change some stuff until you get it right.
right.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
You could go
Groundhog
back-
Day.
I don't want that.
No, but imagine you could go back to the Burning Crusade.
That-
He would not do well in the
I-
Burning Crusade. I'm sorry.
No, not
He's talking about WoW.
Warcraft.
Oh. Oh.
Just that
Yes,
feeling.
this is a
The
Warcraft
whole new
reference.
thing is
Oh,
all
man.
fresh.
It started.
The WoW talk.
Yeah, the wild talk.
Not even
We
wild
should
talk.
save this for a later
No,
time.
no, no. But this is just the convincing point. Because this is one thing Akeem likes to talk about often, is how he wished he could go back to that
And play
point.
the
Burning Crusade.
When it was still as it
But
was.
you have nothing. You wouldn't have none of your legendaries. You have.
I don't have any of my legendaries now. I've spent years trying to get one piece of this legendary. I don't
But anyways,
have
it's
it.
stuff like that. You'd have the ability to go back to those fun events. Like, you could relive Ribfest over and over again.
I would relive Ripfest quite a
That-
few times.
that-
Yes,
very
to
good.
try all the different ribs. all the
Yeah,
different
see, there you
flavors.
go.
But you can also do that in knowing.
Yeah.
Although it's not enough time.
It's
2
only
minutes.
2 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
No, that's why you. What you have to do is just give $1,000. Give me some ribs right now. Here's $1,000. I throw it at them and they'll give you a rib. Go back in time. I tried the rib.
Expensive way.
No, but you don't have to spend the money. You go back in time. Not go back in time. You've already experienced it
Oh, with the knowing?
with a knowing thing.
How does the know? I thought he could just see into the future.
No, you get experience into the future.
So he can affect things 2 minutes into the future, or like he can interact with a
He
person.
can
instead-
interact with you. Like I could talk with you
Yeah.
for 2 minutes, and I can go back 2 minutes and never have that conversation with you. Or I can talk to him for 2 minutes, or I can talk to him for 2 minutes, and I will have knowledge of all 3 conversations.
You can get a lot done with
It is a
I think you can get a lot done with that.
yes.
Still.
But you constantly have to be looking forward 2 minutes.
Not
Always.
necessarily. Not necessarily.
You don't
Only if
always.
something bad happens, then you can go back 2 minutes. Otherwise, you just live your life.
He can
But-
go back 2 minutes as well.
I thought he couldn't
or-
go back. You
No,
go
no,
back
he
forward.
couldn't go back. But like, he can always go back at any time. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
So he doesn't make the conscious decision to say, okay, I'm gonna look 2 minutes into the future. It's the decision of I'm gonna go 2 minutes into the past. That's his power.
Okay.
So
I'd go with the knowing.
I think the only one, the reason why I chose the go back in my own life, it's the only one that makes you relatively immortal. You are now immortal, whereas everyone else in the other choices, your life is still finite.
But then, like, you're just kind of living in that same time frame, like from here to here.
Yeah.
You're dead here, you're born here, and you can go back in
Yeah.
between. Like, you're gonna pretty much eventually experience everything.
When you're
there
19, move to Switzerland.
and live your
Right?
life like that.
Yeah.
You can. It's still
Here-
not.
When you're 10, tell your parents to invest in Apple, then you're millionaires, then say we're gonna move here.
Just
And
wait
then-
till like you're old enough. You have like get all like the schematics for all these things and patents and everything, and just go back in time with everything and just
Yeah.
rule the world.
Don't want to rule.
Just think about that.
You know what?
The Tesla
Don't wanna
patents are
live
open. You could
forever.
go
You
back
know
in
what?
time with those things.
With those ideas, you could technically achieve your "I'm smarter than everyone else" power,
Yeah.
because you would look like smarter than everyone else, because you could invent all these things that no one's even heard of or thought of yet. Really, you're cheating, but
What you could do is take all those things back in the past, have them. Basically, you're jumping technology up, like, say, 50 years. From that point on, technology still improves 50 years. After 50 years, take it back again. Before you know it, we're traveling in space.
Yeah, it's
See,
true.
Fucking
now,
Star Trek.
now you're really fucking
It'd be
things up.
95. you
Don't
could
want
choose
to do
something.
that.
Why not?
But
I
who's
don't
to say it's
wanna
gonna be
do that.
bad? Because if it's bad, then you just go back before that and just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Something like,
Get
what
it
if
to a
I
point
died at some point in this new future that I made?
Well, then you're dead.
Then you're dead. You're not.
so you fucked up essentially.
You fucked
Yeah.
up.
Okay. So that ends.
Yeah.
Whereas the knowing one, at least you could save yourself.
Mm.
But you don't have the possibility of immortality. So
With
yeah,
that option of being able to change things, make myself rich, make patents, inventions, things like that, I think I would go to the
I know how
knowing
this is,
invention,
man.
where I just know in advance, 2 minutes, an hour. I think I'd go with that, because that is the temptation to basically cheat at life is too great. Even though you're only changing your own life, the temptation to cheat at life is too great that you could still, someone could end up killing you because like this guy knows too much.
Yeah.
I gotta take him out.
you're good at life. What can I tell you? You're the best people who are at life are the cheaters.
For so long, they can only cheat for so long until it catches up with them.
Then I'll go back in time right before they shoot the bullet.
You gotta know though. And that's where the knowing comes in, but you don't know because you don't have the knowing power.
That's if they get a sniper. If they know my power. Otherwise, they're like, oh, we're gonna kill you.
Well, it's not
oh, interesting. Go back in time.
Yeah.
Nope, you're not gonna kill me.
Well, I guess it's
La, la, la,
limited.
la, la.
Like if you could just jump anytime you wanted.
Yeah.
'cause-
Like, how fast does it actually?
well, no, because the movie he had to go into like a dark room.
Oh,
But if you weren't limited to that, it'd be way better.
I'm putting that limit on there.
Why?
You have to go in the dark room.
Because you're putting the limit on the other two powers. Why
No,
can't?
no, but those were the actual.
What?
But there's not really any limit, just how they were. Like,
That's the limit, man. You have to go in a dark room. So even if you knew somebody
so what
was
if you have
gonna
a bag
kill
over
you.
your head and you've been kidnapped? Is that
I think that considers.
Ah!
okay, let's say that works. What if I close my eyes?
Well, is the
Or did I
going-
cover my eyes?
is the going into the dark room thing because he needs to be isolated?
We,
So
we
he
don't
can
know.
do
They never.
no, he
explain.
doesn't
never
get
explain.
isolated. He brings his
He
sister.
brings people. Yeah.
Okay.
You're ruining the movie.
Man, they've had a week. I guess it's been a week our time.
No.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll still watch it.
Okay.
So what's your final call? Which part?
I would do my own timeline.
Your own timeline? Wow.
You?
What did you say?
I said I would take the knowing one. Originally, I said I'd take the Back to the Future one, but that has
But see,
that's the riskiest one, but it's like the most rewarding one.
just to take a good shot at you, the best part about the knowing is you still wouldn't know that you wouldn't have to do that project last night,
That's true.
and you couldn't go back in time and change that.
That's true. That's very
That's just one simple small example.
Like the only way you can get rich off that power is if you cheat the casinos.
The knowing one?
Yeah.
Well, you could
Yeah.
do that.
You
Or
could,
cheat-
you could
again,
probably do
you'd be-
a bunch of
again,
other things.
You'd be done.
That's can only go so far because they're gonna even if they can't figure out what you're doing, they're gonna be like, "You're winning too much.
Yeah.
Get out of
They're
here."
gonna kick you out. Yeah.
I think this is
There's probably somebody that has thought about this much more than we have and would find a way to how to monetize off of 2 minutes into the
Well, I think if you were like a professional video gamer, that's fantastic. 2 minutes is great
you
time.
know everything that your opponent's gonna do? Exactly.
That's true.
So
You could be
You
like
could
the
be
perfect player.
a boxer.
that's true. You wouldn't
You
even
know
have to
too,
be the
man,
strongest
what
guy.
punches he's gonna throw when you can.
Yeah.
It's true.
Sports, same thing. You just know exactly where everyone's going. You know how to get.
You know what play they're gonna call.
That's true.
That'd be a good one.
Oh yeah, you can be pretty
good
much
coach.
any athlete.
Well, you still have to be.
No, you don't have to
Yeah.
be good.
No, you don't.
If you just know what they're
Be the
doing,
right
No,
place
you
at the
can
right
avoid
time.
all. You can avoid
don't even
everything
know how to
then.
play the game really
That's
well. But you
true.
just know what they're gonna do before they do it, or you know that if I do this, they're immediately gonna do this.
You can run in a circle and then just save your strength to burst in. Let's say soccer, just intercept the pass.
It's true. Okay. Okay. So there's still a lot of opportunity
Yes.
to monetize
Yes.
the knowing one. The 2
And that
minutes.
one is like he can do that anytime, anywhere, right? You don't have to go in a machine. You don't have to go into a dark room. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. Okay, I fucked up that snap. There we go.
All right, so this is like a divided nation. You guys are going for in your own life.
Yep.
Him and I are going for the knowing.
For
Oh, you changed it as well.
I'm going for the knowing.
See,
I gotta go for the knowing.
I like that.
I think we have a split divided nation.
Last
here.
minute divided nation.
All right. What are you guys' just opinions in the comments? Write it
below.
below.
Support the
Done.
knowing.
2 minute thing you could
Camera is off.
really.
The battery probably died.
There goes On's video.
Yeah.
Do we know how long it died? Like, how much did he get?
It
We
just
can
it
play a joke with
flickered
this.
for
We'll
like
come
a
back
sec.
next week and we'll be dressed differently and say, so
As I was saying,